Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Cameron from youdefineyourfuture.com, YDYF. And recently I just watched the movie Inception, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, and it gave me some great ideas for our topics of conversation today. What the movie represents is what we know to be true. And as we see demonstrated through the characters bouncing in between this world and the dream world, we see that they hold little trinkets or little tokens which signify or symbolize whether they're in the real world or whether they're in the dream world. It represents a type of knowledge, of knowing where they are, knowing certain things to be true. It holds the key of what they know to be certain. And it brings up a philosophical problem of what do we know is true? What is true for us? What is real? What will always hold true? And philosophers from the past have dealt with this problem before, and I want to convey some of their answers today. I, doing some studying or research, also through my major, being a philosophy major, have found 4 things that we could be pretty certain of. And, well, you know, in case you get lost in this world and you don't know where you're going or things may seem confusing, maybe these 4 tokens will help you back on your path and back to finding who you are and what you want to be. Let's start with the first one. The first one comes from the philosopher and scientist René Descartes. He had this saying called cognito ergo sum, and it literally translates into I think, therefore I exist. This is his number 1 basic principle for knowledge and reality, basically. He would say, okay, I know that I am here, I exist. He was certain of his existence because he was thinking. And there's really no way to disprove this. You know, so some people have like a little grammar trick or something, but it really doesn't hold true. How can you deny your existence if you're thinking? Even if you were thinking you weren't thinking, it would still require thought, which proves your existence. No matter what, if you think, you exist. It's a fact. And René Descartes did a pretty good job of proving this. But please don't be one of those people that goes around and says, I think, therefore I am XYZ. It's not like that. It's just, I think, therefore I exist. It proves your existence. It's one thing you can be certain of. The second thing is a priori knowledge. A priori just means independent of evidence. And the way I like to think of this is more like a priori definitions. So for instance, if I told you that there is this definition of a bachelor, and a bachelor means an unmarried man, you don't need experience to know that a bachelor means an unmarried man. And if I tell you, I'm a bachelor, that means that I'm an unmarried man, based off of no evidence, based off of no physical, tangible proof. Okay? So now if some person says, hey, that person's a bachelor, and they're pointing to somebody who's a married man, you say, no, that's wrong because it violates the definition. It's absolutely incorrect. They may act like a bachelor, living on their own, even though they're married, which is kind of weird. They might be doing things that maybe a married person shouldn't be doing, right? But that doesn't mean that they are a bachelor unless they're a single man, an unmarried man. All right. The third one is the law of non-contradiction. This is a very cool one. I think it came from St. Augustine. It could have come from somebody before him, but the philosopher and theologian St. Augustine. So this law of non-contradiction basically says this: you cannot say something is and is not in the same sense, in the same respect. For example, I cannot be here and not here in the same sense, in the same respect. Or, it cannot be raining and not raining outside in the same sense, in the same respect. Okay? It makes a lot more sense if you said, I cannot be here and not here in the same sense and same respect. Because it's not possible. How can I be here and not here at the same time? I might be going through this a little fast. It may sound a little confusing, but just think about it for a while. Something cannot be and not be in the same sense and in the same respect. However, that doesn't mean I can't be two places at once. And a good example of that would be a time machine. Imagine if I had a time machine right now, and I went back in time to a prior version of myself. I could be in two places at once. So it's a little different. So you have to remember, it's in the same sense, in the same respect, that they can't be contradicting. All right, so we have up to 3 right now. I think, therefore I exist, a priori knowledge, or what I like to think of as definitions, and then the third one is going to be the law of non-contradiction. Now this final fourth one is pretty silly, but it's also true. There is one thing, for this fourth one, there's one thing that is certain, and that is nothing is certain. So in case you ever get lost in life, in case you're ever on the path and you feel like, you fell off, or you get lost amongst the chaos, there's always a few things that you could look back at life and say, I could be certain of this, 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 and this. Hopefully this will help you out, and hopefully you could use this as your little token to distinguish your reality. All right, guys, once again, I'm Cameron for You Define Your Future. Have a great day.